Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Hey, Bougie Gang. How's it going? Good morning. Hey, guys. Let me put my headphones in. Good morning. Okay. I'm just getting caught up. So I'm trying to see what's going on and get caught up. I hope everyone's doing well this morning. Hey. Hey, Bougie Gang. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Okay. Y'all, I'm getting caught up. Can you guys see this okay? I'm trying to see if I missed anything with the arrivals. I feel like yesterday, let me see what's going on here. Yes. Are you guys watching the feeds this morning? I'm trying to see if I missed. I don't think the family is there right now, are they? We'll have to get caught up on that. I'm not sure. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Okay, let's just jump right in and then we'll find the other stuff later. So today's day 7. Let's see. Get a little bit caught up until like lunchtime or something. Okay, so the assistant is still on the stand. I guess Cassie's mom is supposed to come, which will be interesting to hear what she knew and what they knew, what they didn't know, and how they still engage, whether they engage with Diddy or not. And also the chef. I'm sure the chef heard and saw a lot. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. So let's see what's going on here. Okay, so Agnifilo, let's see. We are opposed to James testifying about the incident with Suge Knight. What's going on? He's going to mention D-Rock. Say he was a friend of Biggie Smalls. That was decades ago, not relevant, Judge. Seems you're previewing your cross. Let's see. Judge says, good morning, welcome back. We're missing a few jurors. We're missing 4 jurors. It may be the subways. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. AUSA, Slavic. What about the physical violence between Mr. Combs? Okay, so at one point, so the judge, so they were waiting for a couple of jurors to arrive. I guess the jurors arrive and then they just jump right into it. What about physical violence between Mr. Combs and Cassie? So on the stand right now is David James, the assistant. So if you were watching yesterday, any of the coverage or reading, over here on Inner City Press, you'll know what's going on with David. He's an assistant and he is giving his testimony about his experiences. Um, what about the physical violence between Mr. Combs and Cassie? Did you personally observe it? No, I did not. Do you remember a blog post? Yes, I was in LA when he came back from a club. What did Mr. Combs say? That someone was lying on him, saying he hit Cassie at the club. He went through my browser history and went through my browser history. No one had ever done that to me. Combs gave you, well, I'm sure with all the drugs that they were doing, folk were probably very paranoid over there. Um, did Mr. Combs give you instructions about Cassie to bring her food at a London hotel? Some Roscoe's? What is Roscoe's? Some delicious fried chicken in Los Angeles. What did you do for Mr. Combs in New York? I'd bring him applesauce, jello, Fiji water, his toiletry bag with ointments, just for men. Oh, that's what he used for his. He used just for men. We bought about 40 items so he couldn't call us, so he wouldn't call us later. I'd get a key like at the Trump International. I'd set up the medicine bag in the personal LV bag. What was in it? A Viagra, ecstasy, perks. How did you go about replenishing these supplies? I'd use my personal credit card. Bad boy paid me back. Who paid you back? Usually bonds. Combs ever stay alone in a hotel? Never. Usually Cassie, sometimes other women. Did he ask you for things during a stay? He'd text me for an iPod or food. Ah. Did anything strange ever happen? I'm sure something strange probably happened all the time. Yes, in Miami, he asked for an iPod from his house on Star Island. I drove it to his hotel and knocked. No answer. I had a key. I'd set up the room. What did you see? Cassie on the bed. There was another person who sort of scurried away and the shower was on. I thought Mr. Combs was in there. How was she sleeping? On her back? Objection sustained. What about the other person? He was about 5'8" with long hair and was large endowed. He scurried away. Did you ask anything? I wasn't hired to ask about their personal affairs. Did you ever pick up drugs for Mr. Combs? Yes, Percocets at the pharmacy, sometimes in his name. Did you give him permission to use your name? I don't recall that. Was there a drug dealer? Yes, one stop. I'm just looking at the comments to see if you guys are saying anything to me. So I'm just going to keep reading on. Okay, until we get caught up because then it'll slow down. But we have like an okay. Um he met with a lot of people. Yes, even former presidents. Which one? Former President Obama. I don't know what the relevance was of that he felt like he needed to get Mr. Obama on the record of this case, but he met with a lot of people. Yes, even former presidents. That was kind of like, what was the point in that? You know what I'm saying? Like, why put Barack in it? Okay, which one? Former President Obama. What was your understanding would have happened if you had done those things? Objection sustained. Did you ever take ecstasy? Yes. I was drinking Ciroc. I took ecstasy. I was Diddy bopping. I was Diddy bopping. What do you mean? I was vibing. Did you speak with Mr. Combs about it? He was reviewing footage of a party. We had a videographer who filmed parties. He asked me, "Hey, Playboy, was that you dancing around the party?" I said, "Yes." And he said, "I'm going to keep that video in case I ever need it." And meaning I'd be embarrassed. Did anything ever go missing? They said a bracelet was missing. Uncle Paulie came to my hotel room and searched my belongings and those of my girlfriend at the time. Could you have said no? Agnifilo says objection. Judge, move on. Did you ever had to take a lie detector test? Yes. Who was present? Just me and this gentleman. It was very intimidating. They put monitors on my head, my chest, my hand. Could you refuse not to keep my job? Did this happen again? Yes, when Mr. Combs said a watch of his had been stolen. What was the result? The gentleman told me I seemed nervous. I said, "Sure, I am." Once Capricorn Clark had to take a lie detector test to prove she wasn't part of a heist of Mr. Combs' jewelry. Was there an incident at Mel's Diner with Suge Knight? Yes, I drove a silver Navigator to get cheeseburgers there. D-Rock said that motherfucking Suge Knight, he went over and said, "What's up, Suge?" Didn't recognize him. D-Rock said, "I'm Biggie's boy." What happened next? We noticed 4 black SUVs to different sides of the parking lot. I saw someone hand Suge Knight a gun. D-Rock said, "We got to get out of here." We drove back to the house. What did you find there? Cassie was crying. Mr. Combs got in the vehicle. I saw 3 guns on his lap. He knows damn well he didn't need to. You know what I'm saying, Jay Blake? That it was just so random to say that, right? Are the tweets clear on y'all's screen? It's not clear. You might need to go out and come back in. Are you watching it in vertical? Okay. Of course I lost my spot. I felt because hold on. I had someone hand okay, I had someone hand we gotta get out of here. We drove okay. Cassie was crying. Mr. Combs was got in the vehicle. He had I saw 3 guns in his lap. I felt calm because we'd been in a silver vehicle, now a black one. They wouldn't see us coming. What did you find at Mel's Diner? Suge Knight had left, Mr. Combs said, drove back around the block. What did you decide to leave the company? They offered me other positions, but I wanted to leave. My life was at risk. No further questions. Mr. Agnifilo, you didn't tell all of this the first time. Let me see if we just refresh. I feel okay, I'll just okay, until all of this the first time. They told me to stop and not to say anything that would incriminate me. Look at the notes from your interview, read it to yourself, and look up at me. Okay. How do you recognize Suge Knight? I listen to hip hop. Were you drinking or smoking pot? Your mind was clear. No, sir. Your mind was clear. As clear as it could be, working 20 hours a week at 4 a.m. Well, 20 hours a week isn't that much, but I think he that must be a mistake because I feel like he said he was working way more than that. As clear as it could be, working 20 hours a week at 4 a.m. D-Rock opens the door. Suge Knight is a few cars over, window open. D-Rock says, I'm Biggie's boy." Then Suge Knight recognizes him, gives him a dab. What's a dab? A handshake. Did you leave D-Rock at the diner? Why are you smiling? Because that's a crazy question. Why would I? Yeah. You see it says 20 hours a week here. Does it let me see if let me make it bigger. Hold on. I was trying not to have all that extra on the side because it's so distracting. Is that bigger? Okay. Maybe like this. Hold on. Is that better? Is that better, Queen Brio? Okay. Um I'm sure he meant 20 hours a day, but I cannot imagine typing all of this into a phone or maybe I don't know if he's using a tablet or what, girl. I cannot even begin to imagine how this man is doing this. But good for him. Okay, let's get back into it. Suge Knight, a few cars over, window open. D-Rock says, I'm Biggie's boy. They dap each other. He asks, what's a dap? A handshake. Um, did you leave D-Rock at the diner? Why are you smiling? Because that's a crazy question. Why would I? Didn't you leave D-Rock at the diner? That makes no sense. I'm not asking what makes sense. I'm asking, did you? He said, no. You saw You saw Cassie and Mr. Combs. Yes, Mr. Combs told me to drive. You don't know where Mr. Combs got the guns, do you? I didn't know we had guns until then. Have you ever been in a situation like that? No. You didn't say, I don't want to drive to Suge Knight with guns? No. What exactly did you do before you got this job? I was a door-to-door salesman, then a personal assistant. Now you were going with guns to confront someone? It was not ideal. This is Agnifilo questioning. You know how to get to Mel's Diner, right? I frequent there all the time. You've never seen guns before, right? No. This was a radical departure from your job description. Is that an understatement? It's the understatement of the day so far. Do you have immunity? David James said, ask my lawyer. I have some kind of an offer agreement. Proffer. Oh, okay. Is this the okay? Mm. You didn't tell anyone about this? Only my wife. Did you meet with the government this morning? Yes, briefly, about what might come up in the cross. Did the Mel's Diner incident come up? Not that I recall. It's this morning. What did you talk about? Your style? And I guess some laughter. I'm dying to ask what they said, but I won't. Okay. People are so funny. Oh, okay. Well, I think we're caught up for the next couple of minutes. Let's see. Mm-mm-mm. It's not, look, I don't even want to say it's not looking good. I mean, it's just, I think this is my opinion. His personal life crossed over a lot into his business. I mean, it's just obvious. It's just obvious that there was some blurred lines between people who are working for Bad Boy and people who are working for, Mr. Combs as an individual. And um it's on, we gonna see how that pans out, right? So Mel's Diner, is that in LA? I know Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles. Mel's Diner, LA. Mel's Drive-In. You say it sounds like a bootleg operation? Like how? I think it's just it's unfortunate that it's having to come to this, but he really should have kept his personal life out of his business, out of his actual business. But there's no way to rewind this situation at this point. This is a mess. I wonder if he paid these people good for all. According to yesterday, David James said he was getting paid $70,000. Now, $70,000. When was this? Um, Maybe 2016, 2017, 20. I need to go back to yesterday to see the years. Did anybody remember the years? So let's say 10 years ago, $70,000. I mean, it still probably wasn't enough, but it was okay. But you're running around, he should have been getting paid twice that at minimum. As a personal assistant, those crazy hours and all of everything. Well, the hours are actually, I don't, that's the hours being available round the clock. Um, what can you actually pay? You know what I mean? What could you actually pay someone that's actually fair for that? Like, basically, your job is to give up your whole entire life and have as minimal sleep, and you can sleep on my couch for a couple of hours. But basically, your job is to surrender your life to make sure mine is great and taken care of. Yeah. So almost 20 years. So 2008 to 2009. Um, $70,000 was probably, I would almost feel like the equivalent to like 110 right now. It's not enough. It's not enough. But, um, personal assistant for a very high profile person should have been at least making 100 back then. That would have probably made him feel like he was making some decent money and it was probably worth it. Um, but who knows? Everyone's, but sometimes, a lot of us have all done it to get that one job, on your resume to get you into doing other things. I don't, you know, basically you have no life. And when you're not working, you're probably so exhausted, you can't really do anything. So, let's see. Okay, let's see if we're up to date now. Did the Mills Diner incident come up? Not that I recall. It's this morning. What did you talk about? Your style. Okay. It's the memes for me. It's so funny. All right. Let's see. Girl, basically, Tootsie Roll Diddy stayed high on whatever he was on, drunk and definitely enraged. He didn't care about anyone else but himself and his Tootsie Roll. I just wonder how things, it makes you wonder, like, gosh, if this was what was going on in leadership and they were so successful. I mean, I'm curious we know that they made a lot of money. I'm just wondering how. They had incredibly, they had some, the top talent at the time. So there was no way that they weren't going to make money hand over fist because it was just a hit maker type situation. Everything was always a hit coming out of Bad Boy. But with leadership being such a mess, it just makes you wonder, like, who or how somebody had to be sober. Who was running the company? If Diddy was always high, always enraged, always unhinged, always, either unavailable because he's partying or recovering from partying, it just makes you wonder. So, really and truly, his leadership teams were really like the adults in the room because There's no way that he was involved in like the day-to-day operations of a whole entire company, and he's constantly high. High, partying, drunk, unavailable, a functional addict. Yeah. It's crazy, right? Whew. It's amazing. You didn't tell anyone about this, only my wife. I didn't. Did you meet with the government this morning? Okay, so we read that already. Um, style. I have a few more mundane questions. I love mundane questions. Where did you travel with Mr. Combs? Ibiza, London, Saint-Tropez. Were those vacations? And he says business oriented. It's the back and forth that's really odd. If I were on a witness stand, I don't know that I would be trying to be cute. Like, oh, I have a few mundane questions. Oh, I love mundane questions. You know what I mean? It's almost kind of like, really? Okay. Mm-mm-mm. I probably just messed up the whole thread, did I? Okay. Said it was business oriented. Oh, really? Hold on a second. Let me see. Uh, Someone entered a notice of appearance. Oh, okay. Hold on. There's a new document. Let's see what's going on here. Okay. Thank you for alerting me. Hold on a sec. So it is. Take notice that Jonathan P. Bach of Shapiro Orado Bach LLP hereby appears as counsel for defendant Sean Combs. I certify that I am admitted to practice in this court. Okay, well, welcome, Mr. Jonathan Bach. Okay. Since we're here on the docket, we might as well. Hold on a second. Oh, so what we talked about last week, the thing, it's Shapiro's hubby. Okay. Okay, that makes sense. So he's from, obviously they have their office together. So when we talked about Clayton Howard last week, remember? This came up. Let me just make sure we're not missing anything. Okay, hold on. All right, we'll come back to that in a second. Okay. So he loves mundane questions. Where did you go? Ibiza, London, Saint-Tropez. Were these vacations? He said no, business oriented. What were you hired as? A personal liaison, but I was a personal assistant. He met a higher level roster of people. Second understatement of the day. That's David James. Agnifilo, why? He met with a who's who. So he's saying he was hired as a personal liaison, but I was a personal assistant. Okay. What's a who's who? So the person is saying, what's a who's who? So I guess what he's trying to say is that Mr. Combs had a very high profile lifestyle or high profile business profile, lifestyle, and he met with A-listers, people that you turn on the TV and see. That's Mr. Agnifilo, by the way. I'm sure you guys know that by now. Um, girl, he has a lot of lawyers. He's paying. Yeah, it's. I cannot imagine. I would love to know what the tally is for his legal defense, because I'm sure it's a lot. But, you can't put a price on your freedom, right? I mean, there's no point in holding on to the money and you're sitting up there in jail. So, yeah, go ahead and spend it. He met with who's who. It was important that he be prepared for those meetings, right? Yes, it was important that he be on time. No, we'd change meetings to fit his schedule all the time when he didn't want to show up at a certain time. No, we'd change meetings to fit his schedule all the time when he didn't want to show up at a certain time. So rather than making sure he was arriving at places on time, I guess if they had to shift things around, we're running late or we aren't able to be there till 1 o'clock. I mean, I guess with these type of high profile individuals, I guess they get to places when they need to. Um, at this point, it's a money grab for the lawyers. They're planning home renovations and second purchases. Girl, second and third, new offices, all kinds of stuff. What bothers me is that no one had the balls to say anything or step up and let him know laying hands on women was a bitch move. Or just call the police. No, you don't have to confront anybody. I mean, anonymous tips work, you know what I'm saying? But think of it though. How many times have you witnessed things at your job that you know were not right? How many times have you witnessed things in the workplace happening? How many times have you walked up on, are they sleeping again? Like, what's going on? Are they in a relationship? How many, you know what I'm saying? Like, I can think of at least a couple of times in my career when I just knew something was absolutely not right. And it was difficult. It was very, very difficult. And just imagine you are working for the chairman, the president, the CEO. You're working where the buck stops here. You know what I'm saying? Everybody in leadership reports to this guy. You report to who all of the leadership reports to. Who can you tell? There's nothing you can do. So that's, I mean, I what can you do? Maybe call, an anonymous tip to the police. But you think about it and it's like, well, gosh, if I call the police, will she get another beating? You know what I mean? Like that could lead to another situation. That could lead to her. So it's kind of tough. It's not even kind of tough. I'm sure it's very tough. What do you do? I Demanding is probably not even the word. Demanding, it probably was a nightmare working for this guy. I could only imagine. It's probably awful. Okay, so we would change meetings from time to time. Oh wow, look at this. AI is putting these images out. Okay. Um Okay. Yeah, I mean, I think if something's happening and someone's being hurt, yeah, somebody should have jumped in and saved Cassie. But also when you think of it like this too, like some people were saying, you jump in, you diffuse the situation, and sis is not ready to leave the relationship. She's not ready to leave the relationship, even though that's the right thing to do to help. Um, what can you do if somebody's not ready to go, right? Uh, I've seen the CEO of a company I've worked at come out the exit with powder on his nose. Everyone knew about it. And came out with powder on his nose, waiting for somebody to, yeah, say something. And what happened? With the AI. Oh my God. Yes. So funny. Uh, okay. He had security because people wanted to touch him, right? Yes, in the airport, in McDonald's. He was gracious. I don't think gracious is the word I'd use for Sean Combs. Was he gracious? I don't think gracious is the word I'd use for Sean Combs. Did he sign autographs? No. Do people still want autographs? Mm. Mm-mm-mm. Okay, let me go back to the docket real quick. So, let me see. When was the 19th? Yesterday? Okay, so they were saying, remember last week, I did a morning update about that there was a motion to quash. I guess that was coming from Clayton Howard's team, the dancer. Well, not, excuse me, the exotic escort. The escort male, yes, let's just say escort. Apparently it's some sort of like journal or some writings, and he was advised that it needed to be turned over and everything was supposed to be docketed by yesterday. The court has reviewed the motion to quash the subpoena issued to Clayton Howard and Combs' response to the motion. So there were some items that were not docketed last week, and my assumption was that the motion to quash was from the prosecution, but apparently it was a motion to quash the subpoena from Clayton Howard's attorney. Apparently he kind of like chronicled in like a journal or a diary some writings about his time with Diddy, etc. And they have issued a subpoena for that record. The court has reviewed the motion to quash the subpoena issued to Clayton Howard and Combs' response to the motion. Based on the court's review of the materials in question and for the reasons set forth in the defendant's letter, the materials are not privileged and should be produced forthwith. Okay. So the judge basically ordered that they turn over the documents that were requested. Per the court's previous order on docket 332, the motion to quash the subpoena and Combs' response to the motion shall be docketed May 19th, but I don't see them on here. Or maybe they're further down in. Hold on a second, let me see. Oh. Hmm. Okay. Okay, so they're in here now. I'm gonna have to read those. I didn't read those yet. So they put them down where they were not visible before, now they're visible. Um, so let's see. The court has reviewed the motion to quash. Okay, that was just that. Um, I'm gonna have to read that and see what it's. I think I read to you the other document about Clayton Howard, but there's been some back and forth about some information that he possesses that the defense wants to be brought to the table, and he doesn't want to, and now the court is saying that he's obligated to. It is important that he be prepared for these meetings. Okay. Okay, it was important to be prepared. Yes, it was important. He'd be on time. He had security because people wanted to touch him. Yes, in the airport, McDonald's. Okay, did he sign autographs? No. Okay. Oh my. Ah, okay. Yeah, people want selfies now. People want selfies. Um, People even want like a voice note. You know what I mean? People want like some more interaction. People don't want a signature anymore. And these days, you don't want to have, people having exact replicas of your signatures. People, there's just too much nonsense on these streets to be playing around with your signature. I mean, you know what I'm saying? So it's probably not like that's a throwback, right? Um DV is a dangerous situation to try to diffuse. Yeah, it's hard to even, I respect anybody who can hightail it out at the first moment. And also if it takes you a decade, like whatever is your journey to healing is that person's journey to healing. You know what I'm saying? It's like there's no way to help. It's just hard when you're on, I think when you see something happening, somebody can jump in, but these people work together every day. These people had a familiarity, and then this guy also was the boss. When you have a situation where you have rent to pay and the boss, it's become part of the culture of the company, or at least an inner circle, that there's a particular person that they are in a personal relationship, and this person is getting, abused, and this person says doesn't ask for help, and you're not in a position to feel empowered enough to give help. What can you do? It's probably really hard. So let's see. You said he'd stay in the studio until 3 or 4 a.m. and you'd stay with him. Yes, it was common. What sort of things would he want to always have with him? Ketchup, for example. Come on now. He always needed to have ketchup. That's weird. Okay, hold on. Let's go back to. Okay, I guess they're just going slow. Ketchup and baby oil. Okay. Oh. Mm-mm-mm. So he's a ketchup freak. Ew. I love ketchup, don't get me wrong, but it's not like I'm gonna lose my mind if I don't have ketchup. Well, baby oil was like a must. I'm sure I don't know. Baby, it doesn't sound like he's taking this. I think it sounds like, well, saw someone say, David is with the shits today. Hold on a second. Girl. Okay. Yeah, it doesn't sound like he's taking it seriously at all either. Okay, I might just refresh all the way and go back to the beginning and see if we're missing anything. Okay, ketchup. Did you know he put applesauce on cheeseburgers? No, but I knew he likes applesauce. He liked Astroglide, condoms, and baby oil, but you didn't expense it through your business. You I guess maybe he meant business card. Usually not. Girl, so he flipped that topic really quick. Did you know he put applesauce on cheeseburgers? No, but I knew he likes applesauce. Agnifilo. He liked Astroglide condoms and baby oil, but you didn't expense it through the business. Usually not. Oh, okay. He's like, well, let's get into we're gonna get into it now. Okay. Pleasantries over. Let's talk about, as the personal assistant, what was he having you do? Uh, mm. All right. Applesauce on cheeseburgers, Your Honor. He's guilty as fuck. Yeah. So Agnifilo is asking questions today. Okay. Well, okay. I guess we're going to see where this is going. Got a training. See you later. Have a great day. Okay, hun. So you guys, I was live last night. If you missed it last night, we had some fun. There was some FaceTime calls with Sonia and Nesto that were a complete, I don't even know what to say about it, but I needed a good laugh and I enjoyed myself very much. That was just crazy. Um mm-mm. Sounds like coded language. Interesting. Let's see. All right, where's the update? Well, you saw when they arrested him that he probably had been having a freak off. It was a great life, so many funny moments, and you had us cracking up. Oh my god, I needed that laugh. That was too much. Those two are so damn silly. It's ridiculous. Okay, minding my business. All right, let's see what's going on. Look, everybody is kind of like, what's going on? The prosecution will come back and ask why they didn't expense such purchases through. Well, I would imagine, you know, I don't know. I think some relevant questions would ask, like, some relevant questions would be like, did you handle personal affairs for Mr. Combs as well as Bad Boy? Was there any kind of separation between a personal assistant or personal liaison and what he was doing specifically, for Bad Boy? Like, how did you know how to how to expense things out? How would you get paid back for Mr. Combs' personal items? How would you know would you have to fill out an expense report for things that were company related, type of things? I think that's maybe what he was trying to get at. But that was just a weird segue. So I guess we'll just have to find out like where they're going with that. They probably was buying the Astroglide through Amazon by the case. We getting ready to find out. What, did they have an objection? It's like, what was there, a sidebar? Okay, nothing yet. But they said yes today, Cassie's mother, um, the chef. So I guess we're gonna see where this is going. Um, let's see. Okay. Yeah, so usually not. I was told he didn't want to run them through the company. He didn't want a record of them. Okay, so that makes sense because that's a personal expense. Um, when you bought the 8 ball of Coke on Saint Tropez, you didn't tell Mr. Combs, did you? When you bought the 8 ball of Coke on Saint Tropez, you didn't tell Mr. Combs, did you? He said he was asleep. So is he inferring that Mr. David James bought himself a 8 ball of cocaine? Is that what is that what he's saying? Oop. He said he was asleep. What? People get to work quick on this AI. Apple ketchup. Mm. So was everybody doing coke? Yeah, I mean, like, okay, so Diddy had his habits, and I guess Mr. David James had his. How would they know that he bought coke? Mm-mm-mm. Why did he take time to type this out? Pronounce Saint Tropez. Okay, right, Mimi? When you bought an 8 ball of coke on Saint Tropez, you didn't tell Mr. Combs, did you? Well, was that for Mr. Combs or was that a personal purchase? Like, is he trying to bust out David for using drugs also? I mean, that was just kind of a very shady way to ask it, but I mean, I get it. You need to get to the bottom of things. Jeez. Uh-uh. Hold on, let's see. Okay, nothing yet. Why'd he have to bring Mr. Obama into it? Yeah, how did they know? Who told it? So someone's seeing YouTubers already got transcripts from yesterday and last week. I'm about to order me some because we missing out on magic. Yeah. Um. Mhm. Why I got the feeling he's trying to not criminalize himself by not saying it's drugs or anything else. All right. That's where we left off. Okay. Well, nothing yet. It's like sometimes it's so he's typing pretty fast and then sometimes it's like okay. Diddy can always he didn't direct. Diddy can always so he didn't direct he to get it. Diddy can always say he didn't direct him. It almost seems to me like he bought a because they asked what drugs was he taking. I guess Diddy was doing cocaine too, but it was almost like to me, I almost took it like he was buying for himself. I was told he didn't want so the Astroglide oil, he said he didn't want to run it through the company. So whenever so there was two different expenses. Like there's Mr. Diddy, there's Mr. Combs personal expenses and business expenses, right? Um so he's let's think about this too. Do you imagine making $70,000 whatever time period this was? But $70,000 is not the same as it was 20 years ago. But just imagine you're having to pay for everything through your own pocket and then be reimbursed. What the hell is that? Anywho, I just thought about that, especially when he's got you buying expensive items. Um, so there's two different expenses, business and then personal. So he said, so he asked about the Astroglide condoms and all of that other stuff. It didn't run through the company because that was a personal expense. Um, I was told he didn't want it to run through the company. He didn't want a record of them. Why would he say it like that? I mean, that's just, it's a personal item. It's not even you wouldn't want a record of them. The company is not paying for your condoms. You know what I mean? It shouldn't be. When you bought a 8 ball of Coke on San Tropez, you didn't tell you didn't tell Mr. Combs, did you? I mean, if he was buying Mr. Combs cocaine, wouldn't he already know? So I almost feel like that's a question like when you were on a business trip, did you buy cocaine for yourself? I'm just wondering if that's what they meant, but then they stopped. So uh let's see how this question goes. Okay. Uh that's how I took it too. Is that he was buying it for himself. So why would you buy a 8 ball of Coke without telling him? Because it was for him. Tell me about your relationship with Roger Bonds, David James. We talked about Bad Boy as a family. What do you mean? Mama Combs called me her son many times. What was the mission? Make sure he's happy. Okay. It seems like they swerved up off of that line of questioning. Did you notice that? Unless we missed something. But it seems like the San Tropez 8 ball swerved right over to Roger Bonds, making sure Diddy's happy. Was it fun? I enjoyed it from time to time. What was your relationship with Chef Jordan? Professional. Did you choke her? No. Objection. Sidebar. There we go again. Okay. Ooh, ooh. I think his position was to maintain the drug supply question. The question is probably to prove that he did it without Diddy's direction. He talked about going to pick up prescriptions that were not for him that had his name on it. He talked about keeping his LV, his his toiletry bag supplied. I think he was, because this is Mr. Agnifilo trying to, um, put reasonable doubt. So I don't know that he would try to make it, worse for him. Like, I almost feel like, okay, yeah, you supplied the pills, but when you were in San Tropez and bought cocaine, did Mr. Combs know about that? I don't know. I It seems like that got somebody must have objected. I could be wrong. But I think, earlier on he was talking about keeping his supply, his Viagra, his what was it? Viagra, Percocet, and something else. Okay, come tell me what happened. We were on Star Island. She told me where to take him. I grabbed her two wrists. I grabbed her two wrists and said, "Stay in your fucking lane." We were on Tell me what happened. She told me where to take him. I grabbed her two wrists and said, "Stay in your fucking lane." Was there fallout? It was reported to corporate HQ. Mr. Combs called me in. What happened? Oh, okay. What was your relationship with Chef Jordan? Professional. Did you choke her? No. Objection sidebar. Tell me what happened. We were on Star Island. She told me where to take him. I grabbed her wrists and said, "Stay in your fucking lane." Was there fallout? It was reported to corporate HQ and Mr. Combs called me in. So there was some sort of situation with the chef. So a lot of things with the assistant they do because they knew it needs to be done direction. Yeah, I guess once you learn the routine of, I want these 10 items always stocked. You know what I mean? I need these 10 items always. So maybe there were things that they were doing that were either illegal, not appropriate, whatever, that they would just do because that was the original kind of this is the routine and this is what needs to be done type thing. I don't know. Let's see. Okay. Mr. Combs told me you can't be putting your hands on women. Oh, Jesus. Okay, so David James, Mr. Combs told me you can't be putting your hands on women. He told me to give her a gift. Agnifilo, what did you give her? I rolled up a blunt and gave it to her. Did she like it? It appeared she did. Let me tell you, this is, girl, very inappropriate. Okay, so the chef tells David something to do. He didn't like it. He grabs the chef by her wrist and tells her to stay in her fucking lane. She gets mad, reports it to corporate. Diddy confronts David and says, "You can't be putting your hands on women." So he's now coaching and telling him to not put your hands on your coworkers, and he says, "Now give her a gift." And what does David think to do? He rolls up a blunt and gives it to her. And Agnifilo says, "Did she like it?" And David says, "It appeared she did." What? Girl, these people were very young and but I mean, damn, 20 in 2008 Diddy was well into his 30s. It's like, come on. I don't know how old this guy David was. He probably was in his 20s. I don't know. Weird. Mm-mm. Mm-mm-mm. Okay. You were in a car with Mr. Combs and who? Chris Lightly. You have taken ecstasy? David said, I'd partied, sure. What were things like in the studio? Drugs? Yes. It's a creative environment. Mm. Earlier, when asked about the studio, he said Diddy liked ketchup in the studio. Now he's saying there were drugs and it was a creative environment. Interesting. Okay. Um, I don't know. I feel like because I don't know, this is just my overall read just in the first few days of this trial so far. It's like things come out and then other things. So the defense will bring some things out that are pretty kind of like, oh my God, this is horrible. And then the defense will chip away and provide reasonable doubt. And we know that it's only going to take one, one person and reasonable doubt to for an acquittal. So I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. I just think that there's so much information here, and even just this is kind of like, okay, where are we going with this? But I guess we'll see in a second. So we'll just trust the process, right? Trust the process. So it's a creative environment. Um, okay, you were in the car, you took ecstasy. It's a creative environment in the studio. I didn't smoke when working with Mr. Combs, but he caught you smoking once. I thought he was in for maybe in for the night. I lit up. He came out. He said, "What are you doing?" I said, "Nothing." I mean, he practically lived there. All the while he was beating Cassie between the stove and the dishwasher. Girl. Do you know what would happen if the shenanigans of the 70s and the 80s, we're kind of in the repercussion of the shenanigans of the 90s. This is kind of some of it because this is when, he'd already become rich at this point in the early 2000s, right? But do you imagine some of the people who are like in their 70s now, who were with underage girls, openly, all kinds of weird stuff. They would be under some jails right now. It's just some are dead, and some of these guys, these old gold rock and roll guys, are damn near 75 and 80 years old, and I guess it's just too late. But um, baby, a mess. I was watching replay though. I was watching the replay when this live started. Y'all are cutting up. That's why. Okay. Okay. Girl. I mean, we cannot forget that somebody when the Billy Bush interview of grab him in the puss. I mean, we can't forget that, right? That's something that should never be forgotten. I as far as like the sexual harassment type thing goes. I didn't smoke when I was working. Okay. He didn't smoke when he was working. But he thought Mr. Combs had gone to bed. He went to probably calm his soul and trying to zone out for himself. And Diddy comes out talking about, what are you doing? And he said nothing. Okay, David James. He said, if you're man enough to smoke, you're man enough to tell me. Damn, he walks around that house like he is everybody's dad. Damn. I'm getting a check. Am I on break? He should, instead of said nothing, he should have said, I'm on break, sir. I'm on break and I need to mellow out because you got me stressed. He said, if you're man enough to smoke, you're man enough to tell me. I said, okay, I'm smoking. He said, if I did it again, he'd fire me. Agnifilo. I mean, he's the only one who gets to be high at his house, I guess. How about when you picked up 2 prostitutes and had sex with one? Oops. Why? Oh, okay. Agnifilo is chipping away. Okay. How about when you picked up 2 prostitutes and had sex with one? Objection 403. Why would he say isn't 403 code for hoe? How about when you picked up 2 prostitutes and had sex with one? Objection 403. Judge overruled. She asked for $200. I called bonds and asked, what the hell? She asked to take a shower. I said, that's $200. Agnifilo said, on that note, no further questions. What? Baby, what is going on here? Let's rewind that for a second. I'm trying to make this stay in one spot. Okay. He said, you're okay. So if you're man enough to smoke, you better be man enough to tell me to. I said, okay, I'm smoking. He said, if you do it again, he'd fire me. How about when you picked up 2 prostitutes and had sex with one? Objection 403. Overruled. She asked for $200. I called bonds and asked, what the hell? She asked to take a shower. I said, that's $200. Ooh. On that note, no further questions. Look, you know what that tells me? They're all corrupt. Like, come on now. You Diddy, look, this is the thing, which I'm not condoning anything, but what I'm saying is Diddy seemed to be doing his dirt, right? Along the way, he had employees that obviously supported, his endeavors because they're his assistants, they're paid, whatever. Um, when they would do things, he would tell, like, he corrected him. He said, look, don't hit don't handle the chef that way. Be nice. You can't be in here hitting women, more, so much, somewhat of a do as I say, not as I do type environment. Diddy's doing drugs. David wants to smoke. He said, no, you can't smoke. Like, he didn't say you're on the job, but he just said, like, you can't smoke. All right. Um, Sean's with prostitutes, and I guess David felt like he could get some putty cat too if he wanted to. I mean, a mess. Okay. She asked for $200. I called Bonds. Bonds was the person who paid him his salary and asked, what the hell? She asked to take a shower, and then he said that would be $200. So was he trying to charge her 200? David was trying to be Diddy Jr. Okay. David low-key enjoyed his work with Mr. Combs. I could tell. He felt like the man. Where's Stevie J? I know Stevie J has got to be way out of the country right now. Okay. Stevie J is like, don't even call me. Okay. No further okay, let's see. Are they gonna redirect? What about the incident in Alpine, New Jersey? To file a police report to say that Chef Jordan had been the aggressor, but I didn't file it. I drove around and told him I'd made a report. What have we asked you to do? Tell the truth. Nothing further. Recross Agnifilo. You lied to Mr. Combs about filing a police report. Yes, nothing further. Could we take a break? Baby. Um, I'm not gonna say that was a waste of time, but it probably was a waste. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, girl. Yeah, Stevie is quiet right now. Stevie quiet. Okay. He said, could we take a break? So it's 11:30. Mm, 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 mm. Uh, okay. So, he lied about a police report. Okay. He said that he was going to fill out a police report, but he did not. What have we talked about? Telling the truth, nothing further. You lied to Mr. Combs about filing a police report. Yes, nothing further. Can we take a break? Mm, on a lie. Mm-mm-mm. Embarrassing. Okay. Let's see if there's anything else that's on this docket that following procedures. Uh, so what was this? Mr. Howard's unable to. Okay. So I wonder if this is just a comfort break and they're going to call the next witness. I wonder if they're going to call Chef Jordan or are they going to call uh Cassie's mother? Let me see if I can find a picture of David James. But yeah, it's like I just wonder why they have not called, which I mean, okay, it's still early. It's still early. Is this what this guy looks like now, allegedly? Hold on. You know the artist, baby, she takes a lot of liberties, but this is what it's giving according to her. Look at these pictures. Oh, Carrie yesterday. Baby. Dawn. I wonder if that's a better look at the difference between this artist rendition. Baby, he looks like not this doesn't look like the same person, even remotely. That's probably closer to it. Oh, okay, Carrie. All right. The artists are a mess. I love looking at the pictures though. I do. I love looking at their sketches. Happy birthday, boo. Jackson Tabasco. It's Jackson Tabasco's birthday. What, baby? Can we get some birthday cakes in the chat? Federal rule of evidence. Thank you so much, Queen Brielle. 403 is federal rule of evidence provides guidelines for excluding relevant evidence in federal court trials if its potential for prejudice confusion, or waste of time outweighs its probative value. Okay, so they said it's a 403. Object 403. Thank you, hun. Let's get some birthday cakes in the chat. Happy birthday, Jackson Tabasco. I hope you're having a wonderful day. They have yeah. I'm surprised Diddy has, been able to maintain himself, like having to like being arrested and just immediately having to stop unless they gave him some sort of Suboxone or some sort of bridge type meds to take the edge off of his long-standing usage, I'm going to say, of narcotica, right? Because Sir has been on that narcotica for a minute, so it seems. Okay, that narcotica. Mm. Uh. Okay, they still might be on break. Okay. I wonder what time lunch is. Let's see. Um, I know they filed something the other day that this was going to be the procedure moving forward. Uh, so let's see. Following procedures will be followed during the duration of the trial. Legal issues addressed in advance by 10 p.m. each Sunday and every trial day. Parties are required to notify the court of any legal issues, exhibits, witnesses by May 18th, which is already passed. The government shall furnish the list of witnesses it intends to call during the week of May 19th. The government should follow this practice for each subsequent week during the government case in chief. By the 19th, the government shall furnish full witness list and anticipated order of witness to the court. Okay. I had the schedule before, but I don't even know if they're sticking to that same type of schedule. But I think they ended like right after 3:00 yesterday, right? I guess it's a comfort break for everybody to be able to go to the bathroom, get some water, eat some crackers. So I wonder who's next. So David's done. It's either going to be the chef or it's going to be Cassie's mother. I wonder if they're going to save Cassie's mother's situation till last for impact. I would imagine they probably have a lot of questions for her. So, and they did ask him about immunity. And so I guess they're just also trying to get on the record that these people were committing acts. They do have immunity. Let me ask you guys a question off topic. Did you guys watch Handmaid's Tale last night, episode 9? I'm not going to spoil it, but it was so good. It was so good. Duke Henry was at a party in the photos and the video. Do you have a link to it? Um, Duke Henry. Hold on. I'm saving the episodes to watch one a week. So you started late, like you haven't been watching. Usually people save the episodes so they can just binge watch the whole thing. But okay, so you haven't been watching the whole season since it started? Mm. Mm-mm-mm. Last night was good. Okay. Last night was very good. I was very much like, I'm sad that next week will be the last episode, but all good things must come to an end. You know what I mean? But they say the testaments will be like the next iteration of it. So we'll see how that goes. Um Okay. I'm also seeing that there was a Orleans Parish prison worker arrested in the inmate escape investigation. Just one. There's still 7 at large. I saw some video this morning where they saw 2 of them on like some French Quarter video, but I'm like, how would you know that that's them? But I guess they feel like that those 2 people were them, and if you've seen them, to alert as soon as possible. I'm about 4 episodes in, waiting for rainy day to binge. Okay. Just know by next week, I'm sure people are going to be like spoiler alerting all over the place. So if you actually, you know, watch recaps and reactions about it, I would avoid it because next week is the last episode, so it's going to be hard to kind of avoid people talking about it. But yeah, it was good. Um Folks have bracelets. Who will be the last person captured? Folks have brackets on Handmaid's Tale. Like, who's going to be the last? Like, someone who's going to be really? I wouldn't even know how to bet. Like, what are the scenarios? I couldn't believe they were walking around the French court. But I mean, why are you still in town? Exactly. Why are you still in town? You had a 7. Look, I'm not advocating at all because these guys are dangerous. What are you doing still in town? You should be 8 hours, even though you're on foot. They probably had to go steal clothes, things of that nature. But I don't know. I don't know. They gonna figure it out. Okay. If they could figure out that it was the 2 guys, I hate to get up off my spot. Hold on. I'll show you guys the video while we're waiting. Uh if they could figure out, okay, check this out. Baby, how can you tell who this is? How do they know? How do you know? Maybe they know who these guys, they know their faces. Um, but allegedly these are those 2 of the 7 that are still missing. I would be like, if you don't get the hell away from me, I'm not walking with you. They're going to get caught sooner than later. They're probably exhausted. They don't know what to do with themselves. They don't have no plans. They clearly don't have any money. Um, so they're just walking around this French Quarter, which is probably dangerous because if they don't have resources, they don't have money. What are they going to do? They're going to try to rob somebody. I mean, that just makes sense, right? It's not like they can go get a job for the day. Um, Girl, they're just wandering around the French Quarter, probably looking for some unsuspecting person who's just, tra la 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 walking around, having a good time and snatch their purse or something, because they're out there with no resources. Okay, let's see what's going on. This break has been this a hell of a break. Okay, let's see. They're back. Okay. I'm going to try to get the temperature turned up in here. I'm told it's complicated, but I'm freezing right along with you. That's what the judge says. I hate being in cold places like that. The government calls Regina Ventura. Okay. Cassie's mom is on the stand. What? Okay. Cassie's mom is on the stand, guys. Regina Ventura. Where do you live? Regina Ventura, New London, Connecticut. How many children do you have? 2, Roderick and Cassandra. Who is this? Sean Combs. He dated my daughter. Okay, there's Miss Regina. Okay. Mom. Okay, mom. Okay. Oh, okay. All right, we just have to wait for another update. Whew. FQ. What's FQ? Court is on a 10-minute break. I think we're back. Okay. Yes. Let's see. Okay, we're just let Westmoreland deal with this one. This gonna be a doozy. Hmm. Is that our Fernie? Portia, yeah. Lambo's right here asleep, right by my foot. Portia is very concerned about the mail, deliveries, what's going on. Yes, Portia is very bothered always. So, okay. Okay, let's see. Where do you live? In New London. We're still on the same tweets. Okay. He did it. My daughter. I hope it gets spicy in the room. Okay. I mean, didn't she sit there and listen to the testimony last week? They didn't ask for people who were potentially testifying to not be in the courtroom. There wasn't like a sequester for potential witnesses. Because if she was sitting in the courtroom listening, she learned a lot last week. So I wonder what they're going to talk to her about. I guess we're going to see it. I guess we're going to see momentarily what was being discussed. But so what we know, yeah, you just have to ignore her, girl. She's going to stop in a minute. She's got, she can hear all the way over to the next street. I'm assuming, ma'am has supersonic. Okay, when did you meet Sean Combs? 2006. My daughter signed with Bad Boy Records. He was her boss. When they started dating, they moved to LA. Reading this message from December 2011, Cassandra wrote to me. Hey, everybody. Somebody said, "Oh shit, here we go." I wonder what that is on his plate. Is that applesauce? Applesauce? I could have gone the rest of my life not knowing that Diddy has a thing for applesauce. Uh Oh, my bad. I didn't realize my microphone was on. Sorry. Off. Um, okay. Okay, KK. Um, are you talking about local NBC or just drop the link to me so I click on the one that you're asking about? Because I mean, there's NBC New York or NBC, like the local station or the national station. Okay, let me read this real quick. Sorry, my mic was off. It said, so Cassandra wrote to me. She said Sean Combs threatened to release a sex tape and go after her and Mr. Miscudi. How did you react? It made me sick. Sean Combs demanded $20,000. He said to recoup losses due to Mr. Miscudi from my husband and myself. Okay, hold on. Uh, okay. All right, while we're waiting for the next update, let me pull this out, make it bigger. Okay, live update, Sean Diddy Combs' former assistant returns to witness stand in sex trafficking trial. So there's David. David James, former personal assistant. We'll take this witness stand, which that happened. For the second day, James began his tearful testimony yesterday describing his hiring process when an executive at Bad Boy Entertainment told him, "This is Mr. Combs' kingdom and we are all here to serve in it." And I think that's, I don't know. I'm just, companies say stupid things, but whatever. Um, James said Cassie Ventura told him she couldn't leave Combs because he controlled her career and money. Well, yeah, sounds like it. After James' testimony, the government is expected to call 3 witnesses to the stand today: Sheree Hayes, Regina Ventura, and Jordan Atkinson. Combs faces 5 criminal counts, 1 count of racketeering, 2 counts of sex trafficking by force, fraud, or coercion, 2 counts of transportation to engage in prostitution. Combs has vociferously denied the allegations against him. The live debriefing may include graphic descriptions of sexual violence. For resources on sexual assault, call National Sexual Assault telephone number. Okay. Um, this is Regina Ventura today, Cassie's mom. Okay. All right, we'll go back to this. Um, okay. Thank you, KK. Yeah, we started reading mom's testimony already. You said at the top. I don't know if you're behind in the chat. Let me see. At the top says Cassie's mom, Regina, takes the stand. I don't see it. Oh, okay. Yeah, I saw that. Okay. Let's see if there's okay. So she's reading the message from her daughter saying that Sean Combs said he was threatening to release a sex tape. Um, It made me sick. Sean demanded $20,000. He said to recoup losses due to Mr. Mascuti from my husband and myself. Why did you take a loan to pay Sean Combs for the safety of my daughter? Look at the binder next to you. These are the photos I took of my daughter's bruises from Sean Combs. Okay. Mm. So she was keeping, I mean, so she was keeping an album. TMZ dropped all the photos of the injuries. Okay, I'll go look at it. Just a second. I don't know. I hope yeah, that's a rough situation. Okay. Okay, let's see what's going on here. And how old is this guy supposed to be? He's looking very seasoned. Let's see. Okay, I'll find it and then circle back. Yeah, David, right here. David looks like he eats very well. Okay. David is not missing any meals. I don't know what he does for a living now, but maybe his wife is a good cook. Let me see. Let's see. I saw this one. I guess that's a bruise right there on her lower back. Whoever said TMZ dropped a bunch of pictures, can you drop a link to where you saw the pictures? Like the actual link to the picture, the page on TMZ. Todd and Julia Chrisley are being. Oh, really? Oh, good for them. Let's see. Okay, so we already read this, but it says Cassie's mom says Combs wanted 20,000 for Cassie's sex tapes. Prosecutors revisited an email Cassie sent to her mother, Regina Ventura, in December 2011 that said Combs threatened to release explicit videos of Cassie after he learned she was dating Kid Cudi. I was physically sick, Ventura said. I did not understand it. The sex tape threw me. I was trying to hurt he was trying to hurt my daughter. She testified that Combs wanted $20,000 for the video. Ventura said Combs was angry that he had spent money on Cassie and that she was with another person. We took a home equity loan, and that was the only way we could get the money. And did he actually take it? $20,000? Come on now. He knows he didn't need that $20,000. That's ridiculous. He just wanted to let the people know. He just wanted to let Cassie's parents know what their daughter was up to. Like she's, I mean, she was an adult at that point, but they wanted to help her. So what else would you think that they would want to do but help their daughter? So of course they took a loan. Let's see. These are photos I took of my daughter's bruises from Sean Combs. Do you know Mia? She was an employee of Sean Combs. What happened? What happened? We were in his kitchen laughing. Sean asked her why she was laughing. She stopped and looked plain. Now to August. What does that mean? We were in his kitchen laughing. Sean asked her why she was laughing. She stopped and looked plain. Now to August 2016. We're done with the binder. Yeah. Mm-mm-mm. Mm. Okay, so basically Mia is an employee. Maybe Mia was getting a little too familiar. This is how I take it. Diddy seem like the type of person he's going to be real relaxed and very familiar with you around you, even if he's paying you. The minute that he wants you to snap back and understand you're on the clock, you work for me, he's gonna do something embarrassing, like, what are you laughing at? Like, if you guys remember in Goodfellas, when Joe Pesci was like, what are you laughing at? Kind of thing. Like, just, kind of putting someone in their place, like, oh, you're, not the are you laughing to, do I amuse you type thing, but yeah, just kind of taking the person out of the moment. I see. Taking the person out of the moment and having them remember like their place, I feel like. Let's see. Hold up. I'm shocked that he asked for, I mean, I don't know if they're gonna call that extortion or not. I'm trying to figure out, where do you have your parents take out a $20,000 loan? I'm sure Cassie, I would hope she had given them their money back at some point, where they had to take out a loan. And this, I mean, this is weird. Okay, yeah. I feel like they could show 100 more pictures. For me, she says she's abused. We saw the CNN. I almost don't need to see more pictures. It's not like I don't believe she wasn't. You know what I'm saying? I believe she got her behind beat. I believe that he was using her as a punching bag. Absolutely, it's clear. You know what I'm saying? At a certain point, it's like, um, maybe they still need to keep releasing all of this for the people who really just can't understand what happened. You know what I mean? Like, how many do we have to see 1,001 pictures? I believe she, even if, some people get beat up and they don't even have bruises. You can't, some people are being absolutely traumatized, and you're not going to see a bruise, you're not going to see a welt, you're not going to see a red mark, and maybe they never took a picture, but that doesn't mean that they weren't abused. You know what I mean? I feel sorry for the people who feel like they have to document their whole entire abuse journey just to make sure people believe them in the long run. It really should be a situation where somebody, where it's just where it is what it is, right? But I feel bad for her. All right, let's get back over here. Gosh, okay. So basically he requested $20,000 for the video. I don't, was it buying the video? Or was it hush money? What was it? Do you know? Okay. So they asked about Mia. Mia got put in her place, and then they want to jump to 2016. Okay. So we jumped to 2016. And while in LA, did you call the police? Yes, Sean Combs stole Cassandra's phone. They had a bitter argument outside of her apartment building. She lived on the 17th floor. They argued at the roundabout. Who else was there? D-Rock. Is Damian Butler his government name? He was standing between us. I tried to hit him. Sean Combs took Cassandra's car, a Jaguar. No further questions. Cross. Defense has no questions. Okay. Yeah, we're not going to I guess they're going to take, I would imagine they're going to take her off the stand. So, let's read that one more time. She was an employee. They put her back in her place. While in LA, did you call the police? Yes. Sean Combs stole Cassandra's phone. They had a bitter argument outside of her apartment building. She lived on the 17th floor. They argued it at the roundabout. Who else was there? D-Rock. Is Damian Butler his government name? He was standing between us. She didn't even say yes. He was standing between us. I tried to hit him. Sean Combs took Cassandra's car, a Jaguar. No further questions. Judge, cross, defense, no questions. You know what I'm saying? Girl. Okay. So much for that. Yeah, there's what else do you want to ask? The government wanted to go ahead and get those facts on the record, and there's no point in expanding any of that. So, the basically Sean's team said we're not taking the bait. We'll pass. Okay. Okay, Regina. I'm assuming they're done with Regina. Baby. Defense, no questions. No, there's nothing. So someone said lawyered, this channel lawyered up. No cross of Cassie's mother. Excellent decision by the defense. Excellent. Nothing could be gained from a cross, but potentially could have, baby. Because mom probably, if mom and dad took out a loan to pay off Cassie's sex tape, they know that Cassie and Sean are engaged in rock'em sock'em, abusive type back and forth relationship. It's a mess. And if Cassie was, telling her mom everything, then yeah, mom knows a lot. Mom knows more than what you want her to open up on the stand. She didn't even answer the question. She asked, it was D-Rock. D-Rock. Who else was there? She said D-Rock. Is Damian Butler his government name? She didn't say I don't know. Yes, she just said he was standing between us. I I tried to hit him. Sean Combs took, so she tried to hit who? So D-Rock was standing in between her and Diddy, or, she tried to hit him. Sean Combs took Cassandra's car, a Jaguar. No further questions. Okay. Okay. Uh, Next witness. The government calls Sheree Hayes. Where are you from? Harlem, New York. What was your work? Male exotic dancer. I was known as the Punisher, baby. Let's get into it. Okay. The Punisher is here. Ooh. Oh, I don't even want to scroll too much because Twitter, baby, it could get real nasty if you scroll too much, right? Baby, I'm not even gonna go too far. I'm scared. Okay. His name is his name is Sharai. Why they name him like that? His name is Sharai. Okay, Sharai. Okay, Sharai, sir. Um, Hold up. Okay, we're gonna see. Do you recognize these two? Sheree says, I do. Mr. Sean Combs and Cassie Ventura. I was hired in 2012 to create a sexy erotic scene for them. Oh, these are the photos that were shown. Okay, very good. Little headshot. Okay. He oh, not She by Sheree. Sheree, hold on. It's Sheree with a Y. Uh is it Mm-mm. I know that's not his picture. Please tell me that's not his picture. Sheree Hayes, exotic dancers on the stand. More freak off testimony, I guess. Baby. Is that him? I hope that's not him. Okay. All right, let's get back serious, guys. Okay. Punisher is here. Okay. Gosh, he's ugly. Wow. Is that Hmm. Yeah, it's Sheree. Sharay Hayes. Let's see if I can Google him and see if some pictures come up. Oh. Did I let go of my other tab I had open? Is this it? Hold on. Uh, SHARAYHAYNE. Is it Haynes? Oh, Hayes. Okay. Okay. Not yet. I don't see anything yet. Okay. So he identified Cassie and Diddy, basically. They asked him, do you know these people? He said, yes, it's Combs, it's Cassie. Why were you called the Punisher? playing basketball on West 4th Street. The women who called you, wait, why were you called the Punisher playing basketball on West 4th Street? The women who called you, what time did she book you for? Midnight at Trump Tower, Central Park West, striptease for a small group of friends. Okay. The fact that Cassie actively chose these workers for the freak offs doesn't help. Okay. So he was booked for a striptease. Is it that easy for them to just go ahead and do a sex act? You're hollering. Y'all are funny. Fran wasn't nobody looking at his face. Okay. 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 Why did they call him Punisher? So I guess he's supposed to be good at basketball. That's why, because he was playing basketball, so they called him Punisher. So he used that name as his sex court name. Yeah, right. Girl. He was dribbling balls all right. Okay. Let me stop. Let me just stop. Okay. When you got there, how did Miss Ventura appear? In a bathroom, with nothing underneath, maybe a bathrobe, in a bathrobe with nothing underneath and a wig. I was expecting a crowd, but there was no one else. She told me that she and her husband wanted to create a sexual scene with baby oil. Baby. He was like, "Oh, that's my specialty." No, I'm just kidding. I can I'm sorry. He said, "Ooh, that's my specialty." Okay. Yes, ma'am. Bathrobe, nothing on, and a wig. Okay, let's get it popping. Okay. You say he's lying? This won't be the first time someone said that when they opened up the door, Cassie was scantily clad. Um, okay. So his name is Punisher. He got his name playing basketball. He said a woman called and booked him for a striptease at midnight at the Trump Tower, Central Park West. Striptease for a small group of friends. Okay. When you got there, how did Miss Ventura appear? In a bathrobe with nothing underneath and a wig. I was expecting a crowd, but there was no one else. She told me her and her husband wanted a sexual scene with baby oil. And he was like, "Absolutely. My pleasure. That's my specialty." Cassie did. Cassie did all of the booking. So who invited or hired him, Cassie or Diddy? I am sure it was humiliating. I wonder if Diddy smashed any of the male escorts. I don't even want. Look, the fact that he used the male, just the fact that he used their sauce, their secret sauce, after they would finish with Cassie, and the sauce was smeared. It's hard to even say. Look, the fact that he would take the secret sauce and want to put the sauce on his chest, does it even matter at this point if he entered, if they did something, you know what I mean, if they coupled? The baby oil is the unindicted girl. The Astroglide is the unindicted co-conspirator. I heard Astroglide got a immunity. Okay. We're gonna be calling to the stand next, Astroglide. Okay. Girl. Girl, baby. Okay, when you got there, Miss Ventura was naked. Okay. She was ready. She was ready to go and ready for play. Okay, sis was ready for their experience. Okay. What did she hand you? $800. How was the room? Dimly lit, electric candles, bowls of water with bottles of oil in them. Bowls of water with bottles. Oh, because they were warming the oil. That's right. Dimly lit, electric candles, bowls of water with bottles in them. She told me not to acknowledge her husband, not to look at him when he came out. Diddy is the most freakiest person to ever exist. I mean, damn. Whew, girl. Mm. I want to know what that wig looked like. Okay. And he was getting $800 in the door. And he was like, okay, sure. Okay. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Shall I have a seat? Oh my God. I can't imagine my mom listening to my escort. I mean, if mom was in the courtroom last week, my Lord. Okay. I'm afraid to scroll too much on. Okay. She told me her and her husband wanted a sexual scene with baby oil. She handed $800. The light dimly lit, electric candles, warming up the oil. Oh, did he come out? Yes. He was naked, but I could not see his face. It was like what a was what he was naked, but I could not see his face. It was like what a Muslim woman wears. How disrespectful. I mean, he a bandana. He had a bandana over his mouth. You see only the eyes. He had a bottle of Astroglide. My Lord. Okay. How did you recognize it? I use it. The purple top. Okay. Not the purple top. I use the purple top variety. Okay. How did he come out? He came out naked. Yeah. I gotta retweet that one. Yes, he was naked, but I could not see his face. It was like what a Muslim woman wears. First Mr. Obama, now the Muslim women get the shot strays, catching strays. You see only the eyes. He had a bottle of Astroglide. How did you recognize it? I use it. The purple top. Okay. Diddy so slick. Okay. Literally. Okay. Okay. Let's see if there's. How did it end? She went into another room with him. When she came back, she asked if I wanted to finish. I said no. If they were happy, I was okay. She gave me more money. Did you do it again? Yes. 8 or 12 times. What? Baby, my Lord. How did it end? She went into another room with him. When she came back, she asked if I wanted to finish. I said no. If you're happy, I'm happy. She gave me more money. Did you do it again? Yes. 8 or 12 times. Damn. Is what not Regine. Why'd they get Regine out there? Whoo. Oh God, let's roll back up because I cannot with the memes. I'm about to die. Okay. Oh God, baby. Whew. I'm about to ask the judge, can we take a break? Okay. 8 to 12 times. He must have been there till the sun came up. He got there at midnight and they did it 8 to 12 more times. Baby, what? Huh? Diddy came out in a damn go. Okay, go Punisher. Astroglide is like Diddy, we're in your corner. Girl, they pulled an all-nighter. They had to be doing that till the sun came up. All right, let these dogs out real quick. Let me let y'all take a quick comfort break. Let me go run to the door real quick, let them outside. I think they need to cool off and I need some girl. Let's see. Well, alrighty then. Okay, exactly. My lord. Just like my God, Jesus, 8 to 12 more times. Damn. He was like, y'all gonna get your money's worth. Okay. Hold on. Didn't I retweet that? Baby. That's a okay. Uh how did you end up recognizing her? I was a fan of Mr. Combs and followed him on Instagram. I saw her on it. I saw her on it. This would be a good place to break. Ooh. Judge says break 1 minute ago. So break for what? Are we breaking for lunch? It's 12:30. Is this lunchtime break? I'm still thoroughly confused about the criminality in this. Uh mm, baby, my nosy ass was trying to figure out if I missed a part. Baby. So once again, Diddy takes her into another room to tell her what to say and do, and then she comes out and says and does it. 8 to 12 times, that was some punishment. Do you imagine? That's Tylenol. That's Tylenol and Motrin and a long bath. A long bath, a towel between your legs, and then a good shower, maybe even a massage. I cannot even imagine. Baby, no. Girl, that's some can't stop, won't stop. Baby. Finish what? Finish. Okay. Oh my God. Mm-mm-mm. That's my favorite meme. Okay, so they're taking a break. I'm going to imagine that this has got to be lunch. Gosh, the morning has flown, guys, because you guys are so much fun. Girl, a nice you got to sit in the bath. You got to soak on that. My lord. And she baby, please, my God. Girl, doesn't everybody have Dr. Teal's in the bathtub though? My God, if you're sleeping on Dr. Teal's, you need to get your life. Dr. Teal's have you nice and relaxed and fresh, okay? Um girl, teaspoon of vinegar. Golly, my lord. Damn, Cassie. Damn, Diddy. So Diddy came out naked with just a scarf on where you could just see his eyes and a bottle. I mean, and a bottle of Astroglide. My lord. Okay. Just nasty. Okay. Oh my God. I don't even know. I'm like, I don't even know what to do. Like, this is crazy. Sir is out of control. They got Cassie. Let's just talk about what happened so far because this is nuts. Can we just talk about how they got Cassie's mother up off that? They were like, look, we got to get back to the freak off. We got to get back to the reason why we're here. We need to get back to that good freak off testimony that everybody seems to love so much. Um, okay, Miss Ventura, we'll see you next time. Thank you for coming through. And that's it. That's all. Okay. They verified the $20,000. Cassie's parents didn't have money like that. They had to take money out their house to pay Diddy, her parents who were probably modest income people. Cassie wasn't making that money like that. And her parents had to take money out of their home in a home equity line of credit to pay this dude who it sounds like took their money to hold on to or give them a sex tape. Cassie's mother says she documented her daughter's injuries. That's unfortunate that she even had to do something like that. She was bruised, and I wanted to make sure we memorialized it. Yeah, keep record. Uh-huh. Um, this is what, look, I'm just going to say what I'm going to say. Cassie's been married now for several years. She's got 2 children. She's got 1 child on the way. Your daughter has moved on, right? Since 2018. That's been like 7 years. I don't know. I think I would be like, Mom, burn it, throw it away, whatever. I don't know. Why keep the book at this point? If you've moved on, moved past, you're with your new husband, you got grandkids, all of these things. Maybe it is something you just put in the attic and hope you never need it. But I guess if, one day we're going to sue him, one day we gonna get 7-8 figures or what, I mean, what was it? Because to me, after the relationship was over, you moved on, you had the big beautiful wedding, you're married, you're happy, you got grandkids, and I don't know. Anyway, I guess it's like Monica Lewinsky keeping that blue dress all of those years, right? The blue dress with Bill Clinton's sauce on it, just in case you need it, I don't know. She definitely needed some ice, some just a moment to relax. I cannot imagine. And they did that too, and forget about just a night. They did that for multiple days. So they could have been freaking off 4 days. Okay. Cassie's mom called the police after Combs took her daughter's phone. Regina Ventura once called the police. We've already read this on Twitter, but Regina Ventura once called the police on Combs after Cassie told her mother that Combs had taken her phone. Ventura testified that she had a bitter argument outside her daughter's apartment building as she tried to get Cassie's phone back. Cassie was inside her apartment at the time, she said. I was trying to hit him, but was unsuccessful. Ventura told the court. Eventually, Ventura said that Combs gave the phone back and took Cassie's car as where did I lose it? As he left. Okay, defense attorney chose not to cross-examine Cassie's mother, Regina Ventura, allowing her damaging testimony to stand uncontested. Defense lawyer Mark Agnifilo said, I do not have any questions for you. Ventura's testimony about Combs threatening Cassie over a sex tape and abuse was left uncontested. The government's next witness is a man named Sheree Haynes. Haynes, 51, works as an exotic dancer who goes by the name Punisher. Okay. The male stripper named Punisher said he was paid $800 to create a sexy scene for Combs and Ventura, all the while keeping eyes off the music mogul. Hayes said he was called to Trump Tower Hotel suite in the fall of 2012, and he was greeted at the door by Ventura wearing a bathrobe and nothing on underneath, and she had on a wig. He was handed a sack of money with $800 inside as Ventura told him to create a sexy scene for me and her applying baby oil on. So we didn't get that part. Create a sexy scene of me and her applying baby oil on each other and create a sexy environment that her husband would come up on and witness. The witness said, she said, do not acknowledge her husband, try not to look at him, and no communication. Judge Arun Subramanian adjourned the court for its daily lunch break. Thank you for the member milestone. The internet is saying that once Cassie saw Carisha getting all of the accolades, she got mad. You know, yeah, she might have felt some type of way, because he had like a new little ingenue that he was building up. And can we, I thought about this, and, I don't know if anyone's talked about this or not, but I mean, damn, Diddy's 55, Carisha's 31. Okay. Cassie's 38. So Diddy is, and Carisha was grown. Carisha is already a mother of two by the time she hooked up with Diddy. But damn, he's over 20 some years older than her, 23, 24 years older than her. I don't know. We gonna see. We gonna see. They just got a whole cast of characters coming through for the shenanigans with this trial. So we gonna meet lots of people and we gonna hear lots of stories. I see. I wonder why they brought this out on the right before the lunch break. I guess they said they're gonna use all their time. We're not yielding 1 minute of time, and we're gonna try to hold on to everything we got. Let's see. So this would be a good place to take a break. And then that was it. Judge break. And that was it for now. And we're just right here. Okay. Yeah. I don't know that, we don't really know what Carisha went through with him. I don't know if she's a victim or not. I don't know. She might not even consider herself to be a victim, so I'm not even trying to make that assumption. But we know I do feel like she might have been up for whatever he had going on. I wonder if there's any pictures yet of this guy, any artist drawings. Let's see. Oh my god. I wonder why that guy was crying so hard yesterday. Was he just that upset, that overcome? What? He was on VH1. Sheree Hayes, the Punisher from VH1's I Love Money, is enterprising his way to the top. Girl, is this the dude? Baby. Okay. Okay, well, okay, sir. Okay, sir. I mean, he's 51 now, so I would imagine maybe he may have different work, or does he, I don't even know, girl. Let me not even ask too many questions. Let me mind my business on that one. Baby. Oh my goodness. Hayes says he didn't realize the man in the hotel was Combs. He says he says of first encounter. uh just a second. Let's see what's going on here. Jury dismissed for lunch break. Haynes didn't realize. It's so fun. Like, we're basically getting all the same story, but they do kind of say to Sheree Haynes continued describing the first encounter with Cassie Ventura and Sean Diddy Combs at Trump International Hotel in New York. Ventura greeted him at the door in a robe when he arrived, and he believed she was wearing a wig. He said he did not recognize her at the time. He testified. Ventura, I invited him into the suite and explained she didn't want him to actually dance. She told him her and her husband like to create sexy scenes involving the application of baby oil, and that her husband eventually would come out to watch. Ventura told him to ignore her husband. Hayes said, I was specifically told to not acknowledge her husband, try not to look at him, no communication or anything. After explaining the situation, Ventura handed him a stack of cash. How does it, a stack of cash, $800? That's not, where's Stevie J? Thank you. We said that earlier. Where is Stevie? And said he could not change into underwear or a towel in the bathroom. After explaining the situation, Ventura handed him a stack of cash and said he could change into underwear or a towel in the bathroom. Which do you think um, Punisher changed into? Do you think he changed into underwear or a towel? Do you think he was just like, "Oh, okay, y'all ready to party? I'm ready to party too." Which one? What do you think? sh- Do you think Punisher went ahead and put his underwears on? Did he put on underwear or did he just go ahead and go straight to a towel? Like, "Oh, okay, y'all want to party, huh? Okay, I got y'all. Are y'all ready?" You say a towel, a towel. If your name is Punisher, do you come out in underwear or do you come out in a towel? Un- Underwear or Speedo? Why waste time? Straight to the towel. Let me tell you something. Diddy had a very good time. Diddy seemed to have enjoyed himself. If there's someone out here who, you know how they say doing the most? If there's someone out here who embodies the phrase doing the most or did the most, it has to be Diddy. Diddy was out here having a good damn time, drugging, screwing, partying, drinking, moneying, cavorting, threatening, fight. I mean, Sir did it all. This is barely like this is if this weren't a trial, this would be like some this is your life type shit because he is this is a whole trip down memory lane. He's done it all. Sir has enjoyed himself. There is no way through the ups and the downs and everything. I mean, I know life is not wonderful for everybody, but this man has been he's gotten his fair share of a good time. Okay? Here's the Venturas. Hold on a second. They had a picture of the Venturas, but is this correct? Hold on. Sir has been out here doing the damn most. Okay. Uh, who is that? That's the Regina Roderick. Okay, maybe some security. That's her mom and dad. As a woman almost 40 years old, I would hate that my parents would have to come and talk about this mess. You know what I'm saying? This is terrible. I hope that when this is over, I'm going to be honest with you. Cassie has got paid so much money. At this point, there's no need for a book. There's no need for any. Go sit down somewhere with those 3 kids and get your life back. That's just my thought. You think otherwise, whatever. To me, I just think this is very traumatic, and it's over. The poor parents have to go. These people are not, spring chickens. They are probably well in their 60s, maybe close to 70. Mom is beautiful. But mom and dad are obviously have better things to do than run to court and talk about these horrible things that happened 20 years ago. You know what I mean? And you got a new grandbaby on the way. Okay. Jesus. Okay. All right. She didn't have, okay. Hayes said he met Combs and Ventura at Trump International. Okay. 30-45 minutes striptease dance for a small group. Okay. We got to make sure we get all this testimony. Okay. Testifying, testifying about more than the first encounter he had with Sean Diddy Combs, testifying more about the first encounter he had with Sean Diddy Combs and Cassie. Sheree Hayes said he followed Ventura's lead and mimicked what she did. Hayes said that when Ventura began to pour baby oil on herself, he did too. Eventually, he saw a man enter the room, he testified. Hayes recalled that Combs would speak to Ventura, giving subtle direction, in, including adjustments he wanted to the lighting and how her body was positioned. Hayes said that at the end of the encounter, Ventura thanked him and handed him an additional 1,200. Okay, inner city press, you missing some details. We like the details. Sheree Hayes testifying about his first interaction, Cassie Ventura and Diddy, the Trump. Okay, did we read that already? Okay. Diddy at the International Hotel. He didn't know the man in the room was. He didn't know who the man in the room was. On another occasion, when he joined Combs and Ventura at the hotel, Hayes testified the TV displayed a message: the Essex House would like to welcome Mr. Sean Combs. Ooh, ooh. Okay, that's when he learned. Okay. Hayes said he was a fan of Mr. Combs and already followed him on social media at the time. He probably realized, oh shit, I'm at a freak off. He probably was like, oh shit, I'm actually at a Diddy party and didn't know it. Okay. After he saw the TV message, Hayes recognized Ventura from the photos of the couple together, he said. He joined the couple for similar interactions about 8 to 12 times in total. He testified. Oh, so the 8 to 12 times wasn't sex. I don't know. He joined the couple for similar interactions about 8 to 12 times in total, he testified. I thought they went round for round to Pound Town 8 to 12 times. Okay. See, we got to check 3 different. So we're on CNN, we're on NBC, we're over here on Twitter. Sir made it sound like they went to Pound Town 8 to 10 times, okay? Let's cross-reference back. She went into another room with him, and when they came back, she asked if I wanted to finish. I said no. If they were happy, I was happy. She gave me more money. Did you do it again? Yes, 8 or 12 times. I was like, I thought that was Pound Town, but it was encounters. Okay. Okay, okay, okay. Okay. Now we just okay, now we get it. Okay. Different occasions. Yes, that's what I'm saying. They didn't do go to Pound Town all those times. It was occasions. Jury dismissed for lunch break. The jury has dismissed for lunch until 1 p.m. Male escort Sheree Haynes will continue testifying after the break. Okay. Okay. All right, let's get caught up. Here's a recap from day 6 of Sean Diddy Combs' federal criminal trial. Ooh, okay. Oh man. Okay. Dawn Richard, a former member of the musical group Danity Kane. Hold on. Girl. Okay. A lot. There's her little picture. Richard said that after she witnessed Combs' violent behavior, she told Cassie Ventura she should leave. Richard said she did not intervene out of her fear for her own safety and probably her own job, her pockets. Richard also, I mean, you know what I'm saying? Richard also testified she didn't immediately talk about the alleged abuse that she witnessed because Combs and Harvey Pierre, the former president of Bad Boy Records, told her not to. When asked what made her speak out, Richard pointed to Ventura. Richard testified she often saw Combs taking drugs, including weed, ketamine, cocaine. She didn't see him take opiates, she testified. Richard testified she heard Combs discuss Ventura's career with her. During these conversations, Combs would sometimes turn violent towards Ventura, but he'd usually say Ventura's career would progress on his timeline. Richard testified she saw Ventura at different times with injuries on her face, arms, and legs after Combs was violent towards his former girlfriend. Ventura attempted to cover up the injuries with clothing, makeup, and sunglasses, Richard said. Carrie Morgan, friend of Ventura from 2001 to 2018. Morgan testified that she was best friends with Ventura for 17 years, but they currently don't speak because in 2018, Ventura's boyfriend assaulted me, later specifying the boyfriend was Combs. Morgan testified that she saw Combs get physically violent with Ventura on 2 occasions and that he assaulted her. She said Combs sent her money and she signed a non disclosure agreement. Morgan testified Combs was not intoxicated or high during these times. Morgan testified that Ventura was very confident when they first met, but over the course of their relationship from the early 2000s to 2018, she lost her confidence. Morgan heard Combs criticize Ventura's appearance, how she behaved, and who she talked to. Morgan testified. Morgan said she encouraged Ventura to speak with the police the day of the 2016 hotel altercation. She said that she never called law enforcement when Combs was violent because Ventura didn't want her to. Morgan said Ventura told her she couldn't leave Combs because he controlled everything. Later, Morgan would testify that Combs controlled Ventura's job, her car, her apartment. He controlled everything. She would have lost all of her livelihood. But was she even making any money? David James, former assistant, who concluded today earlier, James is the first of Combs' former assistants to testify in his racketeering and sex trafficking trial. Prosecutors have said Combs ran a criminal racketeering enterprise in which he and some in his inner circle coerced women into participating into drug-fueled sex performances he called freak-offs. James said he was with Combs every day he was working and traveled around the world with him. James testified Combs' security staffers often told him to stay in his lane, especially if he was asking too many questions. James said he recalled a conversation he had with Ventura where she said to him, "Man, this lifestyle is crazy." He said he agreed and suggested she leave. He testified, "I can't get out," Ventura told him. According to James, she told him Combs had control over her music career, paid for her apartment, and gave her an allowance, James testified. Okay, well. Is there going to be anyone to testify that she got a paycheck, that she got royalties, that she got some sort of paycheck for her earnings, for her record, for her deals? Um, did she ever say, like, I'm a paid girlfriend, or where was her money? You know what I mean? If she controlled his money, if he controlled her money, I'm just wondering where. And she's saying he controls all of the money. It doesn't sound like she was really getting paid. It just sounds like he was paying for everything, and maybe he would give her money, but where was the money that she earned from her appearances and castings and things like that that she actually was going to? But girl, I don't know. Mm. How long is lunch? Is lunch an hour? I think we have like 30 minutes. Oh, are they running with this too? Okay, let's see. Didn't we read this already? Okay, Punisher. The Punisher says he was hired up to, okay. Okay, Punisher says he was hired up to a dozen times. The first encounter with Ventura and Combs led to a healthy tip and more gigs. Uh, she said, "Thank you. That's what we wanted." And I was handed additional money. I counted it at the elevator, and it was $1,200. So he got paid $2,000. My earplugs fell out. Hayes said that the first encounter at the Trump Tower, now know he was I now know he was Sean Combs. I was contacted the second time to go to the Essex house. In total, Hayes estimated he performed for the couple from 8 to a dozen times. He said he was called to the first rendezvous by a woman who called herself Janet, but it didn't take long for him to realize who his clients were, one of the biggest names in the music industry and his well-known girlfriend. Further along the line, he saw his face. He would wear a baseball cap and noticed his face. Ironically, I am a fan and follow him on Instagram, Hayes said of Combs. Hayes said he got the nickname the Punisher as a teenager because of his prowess on the basketball court. Okay. Okay. Baby. All right. I think I'm gonna shut this one down and come back at like in an hour. Do you guys want me to come back? Cause then it'll build up for like a little bit. Cause I think court ends at 3 o'clock, right? So we have like 2 more hours, maybe. Is it until 3 or 3:30? We'll read some more after lunch. So, yeah, I think I might take a little break, let you guys go, and then we'll have more to read and get all the way caught up. I'll leave all my pages open so we've got our sources now. We've got where we're getting caught up at, okay? Okay, hit the thumbs up for me. I appreciate y'all. This was fun. We'll get some more kikis in a little bit later, and yeah, if not in an hour, even just after court ends, so we can have all the rest of it to get caught up on and just kind of skate through. Okay. All right, you guys. I'll see you guys back a little later and we'll finish up today. This was fun. Okay. All right, you guys. Hit the thumbs up for me and I will see you guys a little bit later. I hope you enjoyed. This was so much fun. Okay. Okay, Diddy. Baby. Okay. I'll see you guys later.